Dear learners, today we will discuss how speech is produced and what are the organs of speech involved in the production of speech. Human speech is the product of some disturbance to the airflow in the continuous process of respiration or breathing. This disturbance is caused by the movements of organs of human body like muscles of the chest, vocal cords, the tongue, the lips and so on. Such noise or disturbance in the form of sound waves is received by the listener's ear and decoded with the help of brain. The organs of human body which produce speech sounds are collectively called organs of speech. Articulation in phonetic context implies bringing of near or together any two organs of speech. The organs of speech involved in the process are known as articulators. So there are various articulators which are studied under three systems like respiratory system, phonatory system and articulatory system. Respiratory system. The first system and the most important system in the production of speech is respiratory system. The two processes of respiration, that is inhalation and exhalation, taking the outside air inside and releasing the air outside, is the continuous activity of the lungs which form an integral part of the respiratory system. This respiratory system includes three organs of speech or articulators, we can call them as the lungs, the muscles of the chest and windpipe. Technically or phonetically it is known as trachea or tracheae, you can call it as. For the production of speech we need a source of energy. The source of energy means the air we require. We take the air, our airstream creates that energy, that leads to the source of energy, which comes from, or this energy comes from the airstream released by the lungs. English uses the pulmonic egressive airstream mechanism. The adjective pulmonic means set in motion by the lungs and aggressive means going out of the lungs. This is the nature of the airstream. Right, as I explained, the two processes, inhalation, you know inhalers, we have that inhalers, right? We take the breath inside, we release the air, breathe outside. So breathing in is called inhalation and breathing out is called as exhalation. So we inhale or exhale the air continuously. This activity is very essential for the production of speech. Second system. The second system is known as phonatory system. This system includes larynx, which contains the vocal cords. The airstream released by the lungs enters the vocal cords in the larynx through windpipe. They operate like a pair of valves. It's like that. It's a pair of valves. Right. They are placed horizontally from front to the back. In the front they are joined, in the back they are separate. They are separate. The opening space between the vocal cords is called as glottis. When you produce the sound it is a glottal sound. So that there is glottis situated. Glottis, the space is known as glottis. There are three positions in which the vocal cords operate. First position is tightly closed, as in coughing. The second position is wide apart without vibration, as in breathing. That's the normal position of breathing. And for the present purpose of in the phonetic context rather, producing the voiceless sounds. We produce voiceless sounds like p, t, k, etc. The third position is loosely together with vibration. There is slight gap in that. With vibration for voice, of course, voice is created, and for the present purpose, voice sounds are produced. Each of the pair of p and b, the second one, there are 6 plosives, p, b, t, d, k, g. So the first three ones, the first sound of the pair is voiceless, whereas the second one is voiced. You can experiment also. There is a you can realize when you close your ears or put a finger on your throat, you realize that. So there is some sound, so that is called voiced sound. So phonatory system includes this significant aspect, this voice box, and its role is very significant in the production of speech. The third system, the diagram, in the diagram it is shown, there are three cavities. That is oral cavity, oral, the mouth cavity, we can call it as oral, nasal, right, nasal and pharyngeal cavity. It contains the organs of speech like the lips, the teeth, the tongue, the roof of the mouth, the nose and pharynx. This is the most important system that way, so far as phonetic context is concerned, because it involves most of the organs of speech. For example, tongue takes various positions. There is front part of the tongue, back part of the tongue, tip of the tongue, rims of the tongue, like that. The roof of the mouth is also subdivided into various parts. The portion just behind the upper teeth is called alveolar ridge, or we call it as teeth ridge, right? Then there is roof of the mouth is also divided, also classified into hard palate and soft palate. The portion immediately after the teeth ridge is known as hard palate, and later as we move backward it is called as velum or soft palate. This system is significant as it includes most of the organs of speech. So you have to analyze, you have to note down the organs of speech involved in the production of speech. For example, sound, as we are producing a particular sound, you have to note down which are the two articulators involved. Out of the two articulators, again one articulator is stationary, is constant, and the second one is movable. One that is called as active articulators and passive articulators. One articulator or one organ of speech remains constant, the other moves to the other articulator. So bringing together or near in phonetic context is called as the production of speech, or it is the articulation that we call as. So we need to analyze, we need to study the active articulators and the passive articulators. These articulators differ from every sound. For example, which one is a active articulator for the production of the sound T, the plosive sound T? Which one is an active articulator and which one is passive? The roof of the mouth is there, and in the roof of the mouth or the portion just behind the upper teeth is called as teeth ridge. Now teeth ridge is passive articulator and the tip of the tongue is the active articulator. So tip of the tongue goes to touches the teeth ridge. So that is the active articulator. So we need to study the active articulators and passive articulators in order to understand articulation in phonetic context. Thank you.